Hey guys, Civil here, back again with another edition of Throwback Thursdays, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Kenner Gargoyles Stone Armor Goliath. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, as I said before, today we are taking a look at Stone Armor Goliath. He is a part of the Gargoyles line released by the fine folks who were over at Kenner from, I think, 94-95, if I'm not mistaken. I believe this is episode 5. It's the 5th installment of my Throwback Thursday series. And because NECA is releasing that gorgeous Ultimate Goliath figure and just revealed Demona and Thaylog this past week for Comic-Con, quote-unquote Comic-Con reveal day. It was this Monday. I decided, why not take a look at one of the old, original, retro, vintage, whatever you want to call it, Kenner figures, starting with, of course, the main man himself, Goliath. Now, I have quite a few, quite a lot, of the Kenner Gargoyles figures, and I will gladly do a review of the Demona figure once I dig up her blaster rifle. But I'm going to be doing these for Throwback Thursdays, just so I don't run out of stuff, which is kind of the same problem I'm having with newer stuff. You're probably thinking, well, why don't you just go balls to the wall crazy and just review them all? Because, well, I like Throwback Thursdays. It's a treat. If I just did it all the time, it would lose a bit of its charm. You know, I can sit here and review old stuff all day, every day, 7 days a week, but eventually that novelty, I feel, is going to wear off. So it's just my personal 2 cents on that. But I would, before I start this review, like to give a shout out to Mr. T-Biz for actually hooking me up with this figure. The first figure he ever sent me was this guy. Although I think I replaced the base figure with one with tighter legs. But everything else is from T-Biz. The tail, the wings, the armor plates. I don't have the spear this guy came with. I looked that up on eBay. It's a little bit pricey for me to want to spend the money on it right now. So, but we do have a carded one downstairs. So if Mr. Brian and I ever go to a Comic-Con starring Keith David or Greg Weisman, well, that thing's getting signed. So, he also has a Xanatos I want. Son of a bitch. But either way, another shout out to my buddy Just Monesto 2 for kind of getting me into these figures. He had a review of this Goliath up. I think he was the first one to review this figure, if I'm not mistaken. He reviewed a lot of these before I got my hands on them, and I appreciated that a lot because I was curious about how good this toy line was. The Brooklyn has a little bit to be desired, but we'll talk about him when the time comes. But as far as this guy's accessories go, of course, he's got the stone armor plates. I took the top one off to make it a little bit more interesting for the URL. But you can just clip these right on. Nothing to it. And, yeah, it's it's silly, you know. But I like to think of this as Goliath as he's about to burst out of the stone. Even though his wings and tail and back aren't covered at all. It was Kenner. It was the 90s. What do you expect? The Xanatos figure is a very similar gimmick to this. I believe it was called Gargoyle Disguise Armor or something. But you could take all the stone plates off if you want. I leave them all on. Whoop! I leave them all on when I have this guy out on display, which is all the time. But he comes with this piece, comes with this piece, kind of sync together. Kind of. Sort of. Kind of cool if these could, like, snap together and just stand next to him like a statue or something. And then the legs. Got this big old leg chunk here, which again kind of syncs up with this. It actually syncs up with it pretty well, but again, they don't clip together or anything, so you can't have it just standing next to him. But looking at Goliath, very derpy in the face. There ain't no getting around that, man. He is very derp in the face. But that's okay. It's whatever. I have plenty of Goliath figures, so this is not... I wouldn't say this is my favorite Goliath. Excuse me. But if you want a Goliath that's pretty show accurate, this is the one to get. He's got the purple, he's got the brown on the loincloth, he's got the dark purple on the inside of the wings. I will say, the one thing this line did not do, that I'm kind of surprised that they didn't do, was have the black on the outside of the wings here. That's how it was in the show, but that's not how it is on any of these toys. So that's kind of interesting. The only inaccurate thing on this figure is this little bicep bracelet here, which if you're good with sandpaper, you can probably just take that right off. But I'm okay with it. It's whatever. But articulation on this guy, it's pretty standard. It's swiveling ahead. His arms go up and down. His legs go up and down. His tail rotates. He does have a second gimmick. Excuse me. Jeez. I will say the wings do have a tendency to fall off, whether you get this guy brand new or not. But they typically stay on there pretty good. I've just been knocking them around a bit. But if you squeeze the legs, his wings will flap, which that's fun. Until it falls off. And it's mostly this one. I think Just Modesto 2's fell off a lot too. Well, you know, if you wanted to, you could put some, again, the clear nail polish, floor polish stuff, probably tighten that up a little bit. Wouldn't go crazy with it, but just a little dab of that. Maybe tighten that up. Or you could just glue them on there, I guess. I don't really intend to display them without them, so maybe that'd be a better way to go. But putting them up against the backdrop there. I do wish the wings were articulated in a way. Some of the later figures just had some hinges in the wings, so you could actually pose them around a bit. I believe Hudson. Actually, all of them. This is the only one that has the wing flapping gimmick. This guy and Demona. I think the rest of them don't have that, which is kind of interesting. Get him centered here. One of the comparisons I've been waiting to do with this guy. How does he stack up with our Motu buddies here? Here's Skeletor. Because I've always wanted to see a Motu Gargoyles crossover. It's basically Disney's version of Motu. Wow, the origins are pretty chunky next to this guy. What about He-Man? I mean, it's like the same thing, but let's bring He-Man in here with his semi-derpy face. It's Derpy Face Day. The only one who looks serious is Skeletor. He's gonna take care of business. That's right. That's right. Okay, so these guys are a little bit short for Origins. I thought this was a bigger figure. Wow. I'm a little disappointed. I wanted Goliath and He-Man to go on adventures, but I guess that's not going to happen. Darn it. Well, I guess I might be able to do that with the NECA one and the, the Masterverse He-Man. That'd be kind of cool. Have them going on adventures with each other. But I already have all the vintage ones. Ugh. Then, to make him look even shorter, here is Brother Mandibulus. And Spawn, who was also voiced by Keith David, this particular Spawn, actually. as well as the animated series Spawn. If you haven't noticed or realized it, Keith David is one of my favorite voice actors of all time. But, there you go. I don't think I have another. I don't have a Black Panther figure handy because he voiced Black Panther in the Marvel Fantastic Four cartoon. But yeah, I love this figure. It's not the best figure in the world, but it's Gargoyles, and I love Gargoyles, so there you go. If you're a fan of Gargoyles, I would highly recommend you pick this guy up. It's the most standard looking Goliath in the line. The Quick Strike Goliath, I think, probably a little bit better as far as the sculpt goes. He's a little bit more dynamic, but you can't do a whole lot with him. So you gotta take it or leave it. But yeah, I really like this guy. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this edition of Throwback Thursdays. Again, I believe it's the 5th one, because we did the 2 Beast Wars figures last year before the Kingdom line came out. Excuse me, the Kingdom line came out. We did the first Spawn, and then we did the original Mandarin Spawn, the Scarlet Edge version. So now we're doing Goliath. I may have to whip out my Toy Biz Ghost Rider with the glow-in-the-dark Hell Cycle and do that because we got that Mezco Ghost Rider coming out. We shall see. Maybe just a regular Ghost Rider figure, because I have that a little bit more easily accessible than that other one. But at any rate, if you did enjoy this review, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more content to the channel. Going to be taking a look at a couple more things this week, maybe, hopefully. Don't want to take any focus off of Motu, because that's kind of a big deal. That show's coming out tomorrow, the Revelation series. And the exclusive Scareglow goes up on sale on Mattel Creations today at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, and 9 a.m. Pacific. So, you know, get ready. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a brawl, a death battle. Mortal Kombat theme will be playing in the background as we try to place our order. So, with that in mind, if you don't get it, do not pay a scalper for it. Wait, Scareglow, I believe, is going to be in the regular line. So, a little bit of Motu, because can't get enough of Motu on this channel. That's my 3 likes in life. It's Marvel Legends, Mythic Legions, and Motu. Actually, 4 likes. DC Multiverse. Multiverse, I guess. But at any rate, if you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions for all kinds of toy and action figure related posts and whatnots. All kinds of stuff over there. Sometimes music. Sometimes. And as always, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this figure. If you like it, don't like it, Jones for it, gonna pass on it. These are kind of expensive now, I'm not gonna lie. A card of one of these is like $50. I think. I could be wrong. I could be cheap as dirt now, but I don't believe so. I think the most expensive one I've ever gotten was Cold Stone. Oh, trying to think. Cold Stone's definitely the rarest one. He was expensive at the time, but I found him for like $12 shipped, so I might just review that just because badass. I love that figure. That's my favorite from that line. So much going on with him. Either way, I'm going on a tangent. But as always, don't forget to keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when you're like me and are just so gung-ho for Gargoyles. You go off on tangents during the review. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.